Hi, this is Eddie Hearn, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is FAISAL Khan for Lights Out, and with me over Zoom, delighted to be joined by the English super lightweight champion, Luton's very own fellow Lutonian, special
Yes.
K, Prosper K. How's it going?
I'm in the building.
Why
Let's
did
go.
you have to wait a while?
Yeah, it's been a little while, but all good things come to those who wait, as they say.
100% agree with you. First of all, we have to start off the interview by talking a bit about the news you broke to us. I believe it was last week. You have managed to secure yourself a shot at the European title. Now, I was there the night at your call when you won the English, and I remember your reaction. I can only imagine what it would be like if you won that European title. Talk to us.
Not if, when.
When?
Not if, but when. You got to remember, we're bringing it back to Luton. So when I win it, it's gonna be an awesome feeling. Obviously, I don't know how I'm gonna react or how it's gonna feel. I don't know, but all I know is it's been a long time coming. So it's just, I know it's gonna be a lot of elation and a lot of relief to finally make a massive mark in the sport.
Now, unfortunately, the sport has has been hit massively over the last year due to the pandemic. You haven't featured since the win over Bilal Rayman in Dunstable, and chances of getting in the ring have been very limited. But you managed to secure not only a shot at the European title, but also on a matchroom card in Spain. How was you able to come across this opportunity?
So just thanks to my team, really. Like thanks to my management team at Goodwin Promotions, Steve Goodwin. Basically, they've been doing their due diligence and put my name out there. And then obviously once it came up that there was a possible European title fight, they put my name to in the matchroom circles, and they've obviously looked to my record and thought I was a credible opponent. So then they said, yeah, we'd have to fight.
And of course, you've obviously go over to Spain in Catalonia, the guy's backyard.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about your opponent, Sandor Martin?
Yeah, Sandor Martin. He's a good operator. He's a southpaw. He's been around. He's had the European title a few years back, 2015. I think he picked it up first. Then he lost it. Then he's won it again. Beat some real high level fighters. He stopped someone called Andre Scarpa, who's also fought the likes of O'Hara Davis, and that. So he's lost to Anthony Yiggett, who's also boxed for a world title. So he's been mixing that world. He's been mixing that world level. He's ranked seventh in the world. I've been people telling me he's ranked seventh. So once I beat him, I'll be up in the top 10 in the world myself. So let's go.
Was it a case for you of not only getting back out in the ring, but were you looking at perhaps staying at domestic level, or was this just too good of an opportunity to pass?
No, I've never wanted to stick around. Obviously, you got to go through your lessons. You got to learn lessons. You got to go through your stages. So obviously, I won the English title, and then in order to solidify myself at that position, I defended it. So I've defended that, and I didn't really want to stay around at that level. To be honest, I thought the next step was going to be a British, then it would be a Commonwealth, then I'll get to box for the European. Mm-hmm. But this is a massive opportunity, and as soon as it come out, I wanted this fight. And even though I'm jumping a few levels, I think I'm ready, and I think I can shock the world and show people what I'm made of.
My apologies, Kay. That's exactly what I meant. I meant, were you not looking to clean up perhaps the rest of the domestic level, then sort of move up to European level? But the beauty about it is, on the same night, you've also got Sam Maxwell fighting Akeem Ennis-Brown for the British super lightweight title and, of course, the Commonwealth title. Does it make sense for the winner of your fight to fight the winner of that fight? And then not only do you have those two belts on the line, but you also have the European title on the line. There's loads of marbles on the line for the winner of that potential fight.
Yeah, of course, that's a massive fight. And for me, I want fights that are going to push me on to get to the highest level as quick as I can. Like everyone knows, I'm not a spring chicken in numbers, but I feel fresh. I feel like I'm still got a lot to give the sport. So if that fight's gonna push me on to the next level, which I'm sure it would, then that's the fight that I would relish. But if they said to me, you can fight Sam Maxwell or Keeman Brown, winner that fight for all them belts, where they can turn around and say, you can fight Josh Taylor for a world title, I'm going straight for Josh Taylor or Ramirez or a Hooker or Rodriguez Prograis. Like that, they're the fights that I'm gunning for. Obviously, Sam Maxwell and Keeman Brown are good fighters, and that would push me on. But like this fight, I had an opportunity to fight Harlem Eubank. Well, that fight was on the table, but Harlem Eubank don't push me on in my career. Incredible fighter for my English title, but Harlem Eubank or Sandy Martin for the European title, I'm picking the hardest and the most lucrative fight. So that's what I'll be doing after this fight.
Since the start of your career, you've sort of had the underdog status. I remember the build up to the fight with Sam Mason. People were saying Sam Mason would be a level above for him, and then you proved people wrong, especially not only just in the first fight, but also in the second fight. You said that you're no spring chicken, but do you feel as time is going on, not only time's going on in your career, but you're also getting better in your career? And do you feel as if that the better the test, the better we see of you?
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say like, oh yeah, the harder the test, the more they step up. But a lot of people, when it happens, when it comes to the fight night, they don't show that. And I think I've shown that. Obviously, I've been fighting on small hall shows. Then I got opportunity to fight on the O2, and I took it in my stride, and I dominated my opponent, got a stoppage, and pushed on. Same with Sam Mason. I really think he's a good fighter, and he made me push myself, and that's what I need. I need them tough tests that I can really dig in my training camps, and you need that fear factor. And I just think this fight here, it's just got everything to allow me to perform at my best and to show people really what I'm on. And yeah, I've been in camp for Southpaws. I've been sparring the likes of Josh Taylor, Luke Campbell. Like, I'm not going to have any surprises. So I think this is like everything's gone perfect for me in order to arrive on the scene.
I see that you're working with Xavier Miller, endlessly, day in, day out. You're also with the likes of Dillian Whyte. How much of good is that doing for your career as well? Because that experience must really be paying off.
Yeah, obviously I was fortunate enough to go out to Portugal and see Dillian in full camp in the lead up to his first fight with Povetkin. And you know what? You can see it from the outside, or you can feel you're at a certain level, but it's not until you're in that environment that you really understand what other people at a level are doing, and seeing the way that he was working and the professionalism and the way that there was ticking every box and there was cutting no corners. Like it stepped me up to the next level. And I just think that now with the whole team that I've got around me, setting up my strength conditioning, my nutritionist, even just the likes of doing my stretching properly and preparing for all my spars. So I usually just turn up half cold, do a few rounds to get warm. That's not maximizing my performance. So I think now at this point in time, I'm the best fighter that I've been, and I think fight night you're going to see something even more amazing than what you've seen before.
I obviously keep a close eye out on all the fighters, and I see that you've grown a very good understanding with Dillian Whyte. I see you guys having a lot of banter on social media. He's got a big fight coming up on March the 6th. First of all, how's he getting on in camp? And what prediction do you give for that rematch with Alexander Povetkin? Because I know you and Dillian have got a good relationship with each other, and you work quite well with each other.
Yeah, Dillian's a blood clot. That's what I call him. Yeah, he's a big mouth. He's a lead foot. You know what I mean? Me and him was inspiring that. I'm too quick for him. He just needs to know like there's levels. So I'm keeping him fleet-footed, and he's in great shape. He's in great shape. He's focused. He's determined. Even the first fight, he was in great shape, and you can see the performance up to the shot that Povetkin gave him, which wasn't a lucky shot. But I think this just makes for an even bigger story for Dillian to build and snowball into the massive fights where he'll be fighting for world titles, which I think he can win. And I just think, obviously, Xavier Miller, he's getting his experience at a high level, so it's just better for me. Like when I'm ready to fight for my world title, we would have been there, you would have seen that, and there won't be no surprises.
Xavier Miller as well, you mentioned. Now, look, we can't control what comes out of people's social media posts these days. Obviously, it's a bad time on with social media abuse, racial abuse online. He received a bit of criticism after the Dillian Whyte Povetkin first fight. Oh, he's too young, he's not ready. You know, he's jumping into Dillian Whyte's potential last fight before a world title opportunity arises. What would you have to say to people that have criticized Xavier? Because the people that are criticizing him, it's very unfair because I've known Xavier for quite a while as well, and he's done a brilliant job with yourself, with Dillian, and he's only going to get better.
Yeah, Xavier's, know what it is? He is the most diligent, most focused, most consistent trainer that I've seen, heard of, or been around. Like, he is the most educated person when it comes to studying styles, fights, tactics. Like, he leaves no stone unturned. He's professional. And you know what? Yes, Dillian got stopped in his last fight, but really and truly, he was bossing that fight. He was bossing that fight, and he was good in that. He was looking good in that fight, and also he got caught with a shot. What people don't understand is Dillian himself is the kind of person that if he didn't feel comfortable, he didn't feel that Jav was the person for him, he would get rid of him in a heartbeat. Like, he's not like he would sit around there and think it's about loyalty. And Dillian is one person who knows his boxing as well. People think that he's just a brute force. No, Dillian can tell you things about boxers in the old school times, and he's a very, very aware student of the sport himself. And I think Dillian is not going to pick someone who doesn't know the sport or he doesn't think that's going to push him on. And I think you're seeing this next fight. Obviously, it's all about results, and it's all about getting the people to the level that people expect them to be at. So we'll have to see on fight night. But what I've seen is that Dillian is a better version of himself, because he's not just going in there looking to throw, trade, and leave himself open. He's actually using his boxing, he's using his attributes. And I think he's going to need that if he wants to compete with the likes of AJ and Tyson Fury and whoever else that's in that top level. So I think with Jav in his corner, we can't just get to that level. He can actually go down and win the hardest fights, the harder fights that he has coming up in his career.
Very well said. And, you know, I'm glad that you mentioned about how Dillian would just come out and openly say if he didn't feel Xavier was the right person to take him forward. And I do feel it's very, you know, it's harsh. Yeah. Xavier received a lot of criticism after the fight, and you know, I hope they put things right in the next fight. What happens with you on fight night? Talk to us. What are you going to go and do out there in Spain? And are you 100% bringing back that European title to Luton? Because we're on the rise. We've got some great fighters. The European title would just give us an even bigger reason to push this town up.
Yeah, do you know what it is? Yeah, the first fight, when they first said about the fight, they said it was going to happen on the 6th of March. So obviously that's when Dillian Whyte and my coach, Xavier Miller, fighting Povetkin rematch. So obviously it's almost like, oh yeah, how can that really happen if I haven't got my trainer? But I still was up for the fight. I still was going to take the fight. Then they said they're moving it to the 26th. So it's almost like it's meant to happen. And they're just putting certain things, obviously with the COVID and not knowing where it's going to be. I think it's almost like I'm getting hurdles put in front of me, but it's just making me even more determined. Like, I've been in situations where I've had it too easy, and maybe I was expected to do this and that, and you can just kind of rest in your laurels. But I just think I'm so determined, and I think I'm being underestimated. No one's giving me a chance. They're writing me off. I think they've picked me because they've seen my age and seen I've lost. And you know what? I just think all things in the mix. I just think it's my time, and I'm too hungry for this win. And you know what? As much as he's a good boxer, I'm going to stop him. I'm going to stop him. I'm going to put it on him. I've seen his fights. I've studied him. And in my head, I can see the stoppage, or I see myself breaking him down and having him all over the place. So I'm bringing it back, and we're going to move on to the next level.
Are we going to get a celebration party once you bring it home, or we still got to follow Boris's guidelines? Hopefully within that time, it might have changed.
Let's hope. Who knows? You never know. You might open up by then. It's still a few weeks. Spain are different to this country. If they open up and they have crowds, you got to be in the building, bro. You got to come over.
Yeah,
I
listen,
want to see you.
I've followed your career from the very beginning. I was there the night you won the English
Yeah.
title. I remember your reaction. I even remember the reaction after the first fight, how broken down you were because you felt you were hard done by with the decision. But honestly, I wish you the best of luck for that fight. I know I'm not even just saying it because you're a fellow Lutonian, but I know what you've been through in your career. And I know that this opportunity is a massive opportunity and you need to take every opportunity that you can possible. And fingers crossed you can do it, man.
Yeah, I believe that it's my time. I believe that, you know, I've been overlooked. I've had my blips. I've been overlooked, and I've been shunned away. Hard to get fights. I've done it the hard way on the small hall shows, and I think some of these people that are out there living a high life and they're getting all the accolades, I'm better than them. So I've got an inner determination to show people that, you know, I'm as good as any other fighter that you've seen in my weight class in the world.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing that fight in towards the end of March, and hopefully we're looking forward to catching up with you when you get back with that European title strap around your waist for a face-to-face interview. I wish you best of luck.
Last season.
I hope you're well. I hope the family is well, and stay in contact. And we look forward to speaking to you soon.
100%. Thanks for all your support. And next time you interview me, I'll be saying, and the new.
Top man, Campbell Prosper, thank you for your time. Thank you for talking to Light Out. Speak to you soon. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that, man.
Thank you very much.